Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're with Michele Livingston, artist, author, ordained minister, visionary spiritual counselor, and the people's medium. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me back, Diane.
And we also have Joanne Bender here.
Hello, Diane.
And Joanne, you do various things too.
Yes, known as the Joe of all trades.
Joe of all trades, yes. And you are here specifically because we're doing a show about what Michele does with readings and consultations, and you've agreed to be a part
I'm the
of this.
guinea pig today.
You're the guinea pig today, okay. All right. Let's explain to those people who don't really know what you do, Michele.
Okay. Well, for the last 25 years, I've been able to see spirits around individuals. I'm self-taught. Many mediums fly to England and they learn how to do the platform demonstrations, but I'm self-taught. The artist within me helps me to really see the spirit world. And I take some deep breaths, I say a prayer. The way the souls circle around the individual is how I know where to place them in the family. So in other words, it's just for me to know. Left side's mother's side, right side's dad's side. In front would be children past. Souls behind would be in-laws, friends, spouses, companions. So right away there's a category. I can see them as plainly as I'm looking at you, but it's more of a translucent look. So the soul will project the way it wants to. If a gentleman had a lot of pride, he doesn't want to look old, he'll project younger. And they do retain their personality. So it's important that the person working with me is very open and somewhat communicative, only because we're going to have an energetic exchange, okay? So we have the go-between, which is me, the conduit. We have the person I'm doing a reading for, and we have the other ones coming through, which sometimes I end up being the referee because they wait for years to get through to communicate. So sometimes dad's side will really jump over mother's side and vice versa. And you'll hear me say, hold on, wait a minute, please, because I have to get the information. And it's coming out so quickly. Just think of playing a game of ping pong.
Oh, wow.
This is because of the higher, faster frequency, they're storing energy and they're going to lower down frequency. My soul's going up slightly to meet with them. So it comes out very quickly, and I wish I could hear them the way you're hearing me, but it's telepathic communication. So they work with symbols. Birthstones would tell me a month of someone's birth month or crossing month. I hear vowel sounds, like your name's, Joanne? I might hear ja, ja, which could be John, Joe, James. So the person says, yes, I can acknowledge that, see. Occasionally I have animals come through. I'm not an animal communicator, but if someone loves their pets, the energy of unconditional love really never leaves us. There's a realm of canine consciousness, feline consciousness, so I think we're all animal lovers here, I have a feeling. But anyhow, sometimes animals come through. So all the person needs to do is be open and receptive and acknowledge, yes, that makes sense, yes, I understand. And then what happens is the soul will take that thought, build upon it, and push it back. So I'm also seeing this going on, this energetic conversation that's invisible to most people, of course.
Okay.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. Now you do this a lot one-on-one, you do groups, you do this via the phone as well, correct?
Via the phone throughout the world. I do seminars. It's usually about 100 people that gather together. I do small family groups. I have an office in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, and I do in-person readings. Now they run from a half an hour to almost an hour.
Okay.
And that includes a visionary scene. I don't think we have time for that today, but the angels that I work with are called the light beings. There are 3 of them. That's the number of protection. So after I say the prayer, they'll come and protect us the whole time. And they are the ones that extend out a soul portrait or opening scene, and they interpret the person's spiritual journey more than their physical journey, which is fascinating. So that's in the longer version. The shorter version is just a little mini reading of let's go.
Everything, right, yeah. We're going to put Michele's website up on the screen, because on there you're going to find out a little bit more about Michele. As you said, you've been doing this for 25 years
Yes.
now, right? There's 6 books that you have, and there's also places that you do this live, and you also are on the radio as
Yes.
well, and do programs that way too. So that by your website, we can find out where you're going to be and what you're doing, when and where.
Absolutely. I do a lot of local seminars, Lancaster, Reading, and so on around the area.
Okay.
And then, as was said, I do a morning drive time show as the People's Medium, and then in the afternoon, drive time, which is Country Nash.
Okay, that's wonderful. Joanne, do you have any questions for Michele?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You sure? I'm sure. I'm
Okay,
sure.
so you're all
Yeah,
right. So
I'm
you're
good.
okay. You're good. You're pretty open. We understand the process too.
Yes, yes.
Also, before we get started, you also do a prayer. Is that correct?
Yeah. And, I do a longer prayer. I'll just do a silent prayer this time.
Okay, and that's
'Cause
the
I'd
way we
like-
start the whole
yes,
thing.
and I
too.
count 8 deep breaths, Diane. With each breath, I'm opening up channels so I can actually feel my soul going up slightly.
And the prayer does what?
It's a prayer of protection. I'm a Christian, so I pray in Christ's name and call in the angels, my light beings, so that we're protected the whole time. I want to get to the heavenly realms. There are discarnates. You hear of hauntings and so on, the paranormal. That's not what I do. So I want to get those in the light that have been there, and that's why I say the prayer of protection.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do, we're going to take a brief pause, and we come back. We're going to have the reading. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're with the People's Medium, Michele Livingston, a visionary spiritual counselor, along with Joanne Bender. And right now, Michele is going to do a reading and a consultation.
Yes. Hi. The first time we've met,
Yes.
Joanne. So
Yeah.
nice to meet you. I have a gentleman on the right, which is Dad's side. It's either dad or paternal grandfather. So is Dad on Earth?
Yes.
Okay. This is paternal grandfather. He's
Yep.
wrapping his arms around your dad's chest region. He needs to watch his heart respiratory, blood pressure, and even the PSA is mentioned, which is the prostate.
Yes.
He's pushing you towards your father.
Yes.
So I hope you're getting along.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he has a white peace flag. He tells me that you're kind of the hub of the wheel of the family, that you are not so much the peace bringer, but you don't like agitation, he's telling me. He says, my Joanne doesn't like agitation. So in a way, you're a peace bringer. Keep Dad up with his physicals.
Yep.
Because daddy's girls mentioned, not that you're particularly daddy's girl, but I hear that from your grandpa, okay? Now you're Joanne. Are there other J's?
In the family.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sister.
Okay, and she's on Earth?
Yes.
Because he acknowledges her. I'm getting you're Joanne, and I'm getting her, this same sound. He doesn't want to show, I'm looking there because he's standing there. Well, first let me describe him. He has work pants on. I don't know if you knew your grandpa.
I did, yes.
And then who had a diabetic condition, sweetheart? Who had glucose imbalance?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know.
somebody with glucose imbalance. Not him particularly.
Oh, well, my dad does a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Because it's a lead-in to go back to Dad.
Okay.
So Dad will end up having poor circulation.
Does,
if he
definitely.
yes, and
Yeah.
difficulty in climbing the steps, and also edema. And your dad doesn't listen. He has a little bit of a stubborn streak.
Yeah.
I do have to say, bless you, because patience. You're here to be aware of patience, Joanne.
Okay.
And I know that's a real hard virtue for all of us. But he's very proud of you. Now let's get back to your sister. You're a whole different personality from your sister.
Yes.
And actually, it's interesting. I would assume you have the same mother and father, or not?
Yes.
Because one of you slightly more like Dad. He's saying, looks, personality traits. One slightly more like, mother. Okay, so whether you go to Dad, I'm not sure, but he makes that distinction. Now there's a lady on the left.
Yeah.
Mother's on Earth.
No.
Okay, but this is first of all maternal grandmother. On
Okay.
left is mother's side, excuse me.
Yep.
So she's a character, your grandmother. I don't know if there's German in your family anywhere, but she's pushing in. She's a little bit feisty. She goes, "Hi, Joanne." Like, this is your grandmother. "I don't know if you wanted to hear from me today, but I'm here. I'm here." She's bringing food in. Food in. I do have to say, you may have spent some holidays with her. I'm not sure if you knew her.
Yes.
But she's rolling out the Thanksgiving table and everything, homemade gravy. Things had to be done a certain way. The Germans are strong-willed, but they have a mind of their own. And food's important, or was important, for
Definitely.
gathering the family together.
Yep.
Who may have had the cancer, sweetheart?
Several people.
Okay.
Yes, on my dad's side.
Okay, that's fine, because I'm going to tell them to hold back because they tend to jump over each other. The symbol's coming up for me.
Yeah.
Let me go with that side too. I'm sorry, I'm the referee. There's someone here with their hand in their abdomen and their chest. So the cancer was starting to possibly travel. I'm getting lower organ distress and also difficulty up here.
Yeah, there were two people that I think, I don't know much about
That's
the
okay.
health thing. Two people on my dad's side, I think, that died of cancer. My mom also died of cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me go with this. I think it's a gentleman here. It may be Dad's brother. It may be great uncle. I'm not quite sure. But he had lower organ distress. He had difficulty in, how can I say this, digestion, with metabolizing food. I'm trying to get his name, but he's a character because he looks very similar to your grandpa. So I don't know if your grandfather had a brother that may have had cancer. But I'm back here, sweetheart, and I'm going to say your mother is coming through. Your grandmother's opening the door for her to come in. And she says, Joanne, I'm so glad you're here. And she comes over, and she squeezes your wrist. She's thanking you for being the strong one in family. You need to hear this. You do not take enough accolades. You do not get enough pats on the back for what you've done for family. So your mother knows that. She wants to come over and pat you on the back. You were there to the very end. She's telling me there were some rifts in family, I know that, but overall she says you're a good girl. She says that you're a good girl. And I'm saying to your mother, what do you talk? Joanne understands what I'm talking about. You've stepped into pathways that the rest of the family wouldn't. So you have a lot of courage, darling. You have a lot of courage to hang in there with your loved ones and to do what you need to do. Mother is straightforward. She heard you laughing about my makeup and hair. That's funny to her. So you're au naturel, kind of thing. No, I'm just saying what she's saying. And she's a little more get down. Your mother didn't have, she's not all fancy, your mother. Okay. She's, but she had a heart of gold. And she says it's what's inside that counts. And I'm like, okay, let us have more. Okay, blue birthstone would be December. No, wait, December or March. So there could be passing over months, December, March, or someone was born December, March. So again, if you think you know, let me know, because she's giving you the blue stone. Okay.
My sister, the J sister, is in March.
Okay.
Born.
Again, her way of acknowledging her other girl.
Okay.
Because people will see this, and your sister might say, well, how come I'm not mentioned? So both your grandpa and your mother. And you've also handled your mother's passing in a different way. Your sister has handled it differently. One of you have imploded a little bit more emotionally. The other one's been much more outgoing with talking about emotions and grieving and so on. Watch for birds.
Okay.
Mother liked the outdoors. She liked butterflies and birds. I don't think it was obsessive with her, but she says a red bird, she's going to send a cardinal your way. Okay. Grandpa, pennies from heaven. You're going to find pennies or coins. Your mother did not want to show weakness towards the end. She has her purse with her, and that's a sign for me that everything's in control. When she opens her purse, the glass case, the coin case, the comb, everything's in order. And I have to ask, did your sister get any of her things, or is your dad holding on to her things? There's an issue about her things right here that she's giving me. In other words, did you get any of her belongings, your mother, as yet?
I did, yes. A few, yes.
Okay. One of them could have been a piece of jewelry, I'm not sure. But after your father passes, God bless him, there might be a little bit of contention within the structure of family. So I hope everything's kind of in order before he passes. He's not going to pass next week, but I hope everything. And what's August, sweetheart? Is that someone's birth month? No. That's a birth month or a crossing month of someone, August. Okay. Or August is coming up. So watch for that. Now, did you lose a dog, darling?
A dog.
Years ago.
I did not. A cat.
A cat?
Yes.
Somebody had a canine, though. Either growing up or your grandfather might have. I get this canine that's very strong around you, the energy, and also a striped cat.
Yeah.
I get a tiger cat.
Yeah.
And the tiger cat wants a lot of attention. Actually, it wants to jump up here on your knee and say, look at me, look at me. This was a real companion for you.
Yes.
You love animals, I know, and you love nature and so on. The cat had quite an unusual personality. Now, felines typically have a mind of their own, but this was a very close connection for you. There's an issue with children. Do you have children, Joanne?
No.
I didn't think so. No. Because the cat claims, I'm the one, I'm the baby. I'm her prodigy, whatever. And purring, a very loud purr, and very soothing though. And the cat says it likes to be near you at night. It also wants to climb up on you and put its paws, really actually up here, and look into your eyes. So I know there were many times when you were depressed, when you felt alone, or just whatever, the cat would come up on you and you'd look right in its eyes. Beautiful eyes, and it wants to do that with you now. Isn't that interesting? Do you have a question? Do you understand that grandmother's here, maternal grandmother, mother, keep up with mammograms? She wants the family to keep up with mammograms. I don't know if she had breast cancer, but I just have to say the pink ribbon's being shown, which is a symbol for me to have everyone keep up with the mammograms, okay? I have father's father. Yes. And then I have this other uncle or whoever, cousin that had some cancer issues. And they say you've had close calls either in the car because your mind's ticking over all the time. Seriously, do you understand? So you need to slow down. They're sending angels over you to slow down. You tramp it and you go, Joanne. Now, do you know anyone with horses?
I used to have one. My
I thought
sister
so.
had one. My other friend has one.
They show me horses. I'm not going to bring them in, but from Spirit World. But they show me horses all around, and that was a beautiful time for you and your sister because it's a time of freedom. And Arizona calls you, out west calls you for a trip, not to live. New Mexico, Colorado, all those states call you. It's the land of the Indians.
Yes.
And I do have to say, horses give you the freedom you need. You're not to be, they're telling me, hemmed in, anyone breathing down your neck. You're not to be controlled. You're not to be pushed in a corner. Joanne does things her way. Grandpa's going this. She does things her way, the way she wants to. And kudos to you, my dear, because you love people, you have the biggest heart, but you still want to have your own sense of self. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you've done really a lot of good for people, Joanne. I know this has to be repeated because you don't go around shouting about it. You're very quiet with that kind of thing, but you've helped a lot of people, I do have to say. So do you have any questions from Mother?
My mother's sister actually just died.
Oh, she did, an aunt figure.
A couple days ago.
Couple days?
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's, there is no time over there, so that's like a blink of an eye. I know they're together, okay?
I'm sure they are.
And they're M initials somewhere, too. So let me know if you know them. So they're either on earth or past. Now, we got your sister with the J sound, but I'm just telling you what they're giving the M sound, okay? I don't know if I can get your aunt. It's just been a couple days. But have you had the memorial for her as yet?
No, I don't think so.
Because it might be coming up. I'm hearing from your mother. She has arrived safely.
Yes.
And your aunt will be at her own memorial.
Okay.
Which I find very interesting. And your mother tells me to tell you not to get your hair cut. I don't know if you've thought about it, but she likes it. And it's natural wavy. I guess that's in one side of the family or the other. I don't know. Okay. But your mother says to me, says to the viewers, and with my daughter, what you see is what you get. So she goes like this. This is your mother's, because they come, what you see is what you get, she says. And that's the way your mother's side, that's the way they were. You know, they just come in, had a good heart, they just tell it like it is. That's the German side. Interesting. Very interesting. And we even have a cat here. Yeah. So, any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Got it pretty good.
All right. We're going to take a brief pause and we're going to be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're with Michele Livingston, Joanne Bender, and you've done a reading, and now we're confirming some of these things that you talked about. The M is what, Mary? Your
my grandmother's name was Mary.
Okay.
Yes.
I know it's a little bit when this is happening.
It was all like,
yeah, right. And we're talking about the breast cancer. That your sister, right?
Yes.
Ribbon.
Yes.
And your sister had breast cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's your mother's way of saying just have everyone keep up with the mammograms in
Right.
the family.
Okay.
Her way of acknowledging
And then who
that.
just passed Dorothy? There was
My
a thing.
aunt Dorothy just passed a couple days ago, and she was mentally ill
Yes.
for most of her adult life.
That was my mother's name.
Okay.
But I have to be honest, I couldn't get her through. And if she was mentally ill, bless her, when the mind is coming and going or whatever, they get a little disoriented.
Yes, I
Because
can
it's a
imagine.
higher, faster frequency. And that's in my newest book, too. And so just send some prayers up for her, Joanne, for her to get squared away in that realm, in that dimension.
And I'm sure, too, there's some things that we just talked about you're going to have to talk to your dad about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, try to find out some history.
Yes,
Here, I would not
I
be
even
so
have
stuck.
I even have great grandparents come through many times, or names from way back, like Anne or Anna. Could even have been a name back in your family. I just heard that, so I'm kind of off duty right now. I turn myself off. I have to, but sometimes there's a little residual, so
Yeah.
you'll know that name. Okay, back in time.
What are your feelings, Joanne?
Well, wow. I mean, it's nice to reconnect. My mom died, 11 years ago.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yeah.
nice to say.
And,
Hi.
and there's an 11 right behind you too. But you were very good to her, and she had a heart of gratitude, my dear. A heart of gratitude, even though it was over a decade ago. There's always love there.
Yeah.
And so you were a pleasure to work with.
And I think, too, when you're doing something like this, you were talking earlier, it is the feedback that you get,
Yes.
too, that helps to
Well, what
direct.
these are lead-ins. Like the pink ribbon was a lead-in to talk about your sister and her condition, that her timeline wasn't up. So if Joanne would have said, oh, my sister had breast cancer, her mother would have pushed more information through, because she takes that thought from Joanne, she builds on it, and it becomes a conversation. But seriously, most people, it goes over their head because they're thinking of their genealogy.
Right.
They're trying to work with me. They're trying to, emotionally, sometimes they get
Yes.
filled up. So you did a pretty good job because it comes out really quickly.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, I could see that in experiencing,
Uh-huh.
the connection that was there and that sort of thing. And I think what you're trying to do, and we had talked about this before, is do something positive,
Yes.
right? Give comfort.
Yes, to give comfort and let you know that love never dies, that the bond of love is always there. And they still see us, they still love us. They're not with us all the time. They're in probably a better world than we are, of course. But they still have that heart of gratitude many times for us.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you got that.
Yeah, and I think, like, looking at Joanne, too, I think there was some comfort that was had
Yeah.
today with this, too.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much
and
for
what you
having
do, and thank you for being here too, Joanne.
pleasure.
Once
Thank
again,
you.
we're going to put the website up on the screen. You can find out about Michele Livingston and find out where she's going to be if you would like a reading as well, or one of these other group sessions too.
Yes.
That's wonderful too. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, and remember, keep looking behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.